This question will come to Seamus. Here it is. How will you support our educators' commitment to teaching true and accurate U.S. history regarding slavery, the civil rights movement, Jim Crow, redlining, etc., if and when parents or political organizations pressure or attack individual educators for accurately teaching the history of our country with regard to race relations? Seamus.
Sure, thank you very much. And just a warning, I've now been joined by my 6-year-old who is refusing to listen to her mother, who's asking her to leave the room.
Early education.
So anyway, I definitely absolutely support a social studies curriculum that's updated to reflect true U.S. history. I absolutely support diversity within our language arts program, our English department, for books that are broad and maybe not always the most traditional ones. So I totally would support our teachers. I do not think Melrose is a place where we should be having these culture wars in the schools around true U.S. history and the experiences that all Americans have had. I would, as a member of the school committee, definitely stand up for our teachers if they came under attack. I'd speak out forcefully at the school committee meetings. It's just something that is just totally inappropriate. We know it's happening in many parts of the country. I think we've been fortunate for the most part not to have something like this occur here in the city. It's just, it would just be totally unacceptable for parents to be aggressively going after our teachers in the manner that this question suggests. So I would stand up for our teachers. And I'm getting my 6-year-old yelling at me again. Sorry. Please. So to close, I'm sorry, I would support our teachers and push back on anybody attacking them around these issues. Thank you.
Thanks, Seamus. Matt.
Thank you. I really believe in history as a critical subject, and I think it's very important to be critical of our own role in both collectively and individually in how we approach society and the problems we face. I think we have to take this on from a place of cultural humility. Teaching the true crimes and accurate history isn't just about the crimes committed by white enslavers or land takings by generations of settlers. It's also about learning and celebrating cultural traditions of historically or traditionally marginalized groups in our country. I think that's a really important aspect of it. We're really not preparing our students if we don't teach them these things. We're going into a world where diversity is really an important place to be and to be knowledgeable about it. And I think we do owe our students a service to do that. Put simply, I won't tolerate teachers being attacked for teaching this kind of education. I'll certainly voice it that strongly now. I fundamentally believe that. I think that is something that we have to stand up against anytime it comes up in front of us. And I'll certainly do that on the school committee. I think that's intolerable to have teachers doing the best they can to teach accurate history and to engage students with critical material like this and not stand up for them. So I fundamentally will stand up for that.
Thank you, Matt. Margaret, same question.
Thanks, Jay. I think we have to ensure that our curriculum materials policies reinforce our values related to accurate teaching, including library materials, because library materials are very close to my heart, in addition to the textbooks and classroom selections. So what's in our school libraries has to align with our values, and our volunteers who donate so much to our PTOs and school libraries, they have to be confident that their dollars are going to materials that are accurate. Massachusetts, as you know, has clear social studies frameworks to which we adhere, and they include teaching true and accurate U.S. history. This is explained at open house nights, et cetera, and can be reinforced if there are challenges to teaching. We need to continue to support inquiry-based learning and a dedication to civics education. I'm delighted to see the students have much more voice and choice in those areas than they did in the past. We have to ensure alignment with the department's FAQ regarding race, racism, and culturally responsive teaching in history and social science in Massachusetts. And you could Google that. I think everyone should read this document if you haven't already. It's foundational and profound and impactful. We have to uphold our public comment responsibilities as school committee members. Should people or organizational representatives speak to us at meetings, while speakers do have First Amendment rights, the committee members and the superintendent can reference and refute remarks in later parts of the agendas, which is appropriate. We can partner with city organizations. We are a community. Our school community is not isolated. We are part of the broader community. And we can build coalition that responds to any and all pressure or attacks on educators. Groups like the Human Rights Commission, the Mayor's Office, the City Council, groups like all of yours and others can band together to communally condemn behaviors or rhetoric that's not aligned with who we are and what we do. And we can continue to evaluate and fund professional development that supports the teaching of accurate history using primary sources and other best educational practices. You fund what you value, and this is what we value. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. David?
Yep. So I'll echo much of what was said so far. I think at the end of the day, we have a fundamental responsibility to defend our teachers and to defend the curriculum that we've implemented. And I also think it's actually a little nearer, I fear, than we may realize. One of my team members lives in Reading, and he actually went to the library board a couple weeks ago because people were looking to ban books there. Something which I was a little surprised it was up in Reading. So this may very well come towards us. And I think when it happens, it's important for us to distinguish between the lone wolves or the national sort of people found on Facebook versus local folks that have concerns. Obviously, the lone wolves, the national pressure groups, those things come and go, and we have to just deal with them and limit our engagement. But locally, I think it can kind of manifest itself in a way that's sort of an undercurrent. And I'm really happy to be here tonight and to speak, but I also know that there's folks who probably aren't going to attend here tonight. And I think we have to find ways to bridge our differences by reaching out to them. One of the things I've been kind of fascinated by recently that Ireland used was citizen assemblies to bring together randomly selected people. They talk through a topic, they come to a consensus, and it's a way of sort of bringing out the concerns that other people have in a way that's constructive and ultimately leads to some consensus. And I think through that, we can actually build more capacity in our community to respond to this when it happens, and also try to dial it down as well. So not just the school committee, but also looking to broaden it in what we do here. Thank you.
Fabulous. And that concludes our forum. We've come to the top of the hour here. Thank you for everybody for answering the questions directly, being concise so that we could get in as many questions as possible. Don't forget, everybody, that this will be recorded and posted, or this has been recorded and posted on Melrose Racial Justice Forums.org. And please remember that on Tuesday, November 7th, it's time to vote. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Very much.
Thank you.
Ciao.